Hey guys, Andrew here from Silly Solutions, doing the first video update of the new campaign, the B-Bags campaign. I just wanted to say thanks to everybody. Thanks so much for supporting us. It's awesome. It's pushing us along and we're getting close to our goal. We're like 70% or something like that. So thank you. I want to start at the end, basically. I want to talk about the infini repurposing first, and then my next video update, I'll show you the lids and how they work, and the bags and how they work, and the new one, the sandwich bag, and how that works. So, uh-oh, I bet I just steamed up my camera. Let me see if I can take care of that. Okay, first thing I want to show you is what you can do with this stuff. This stuff is virtually inert. It will continue to rebond to itself even after the end of the product's life cycle. So to demonstrate that, I'm going to mold a new bowl from the aggregate of cut up products that I donated and new liquid silicone. All right, so let's get to it. First thing I can show you is that this was the residue that was left on the spoon, which you can kind of think of as like factory offcuts or waste. That can be chopped up and added to the aggregate as well too. So you just add a bunch of your aggregate. And then do a 1-to-1 mix. This one is a RTV, that's a room temperature vulcanizing silicone that comes in a 1-to-1 mix. I'm going to put 2 spoons in there, I think was what I did last time. So 1. Oop, got a little on the counter there. 2. We'll do the same thing on this one. One. And even though this is a room temperature vulcanizing silicone, I'm going to just sort of rush things along because I got a bit of a issue, so I have to go get the kids. I'm adding heat to it. I'm using energy there, I'm adding heat, but with a room temperature vulcanizing one you don't really need to. But like I said, I'm just speeding up the process. Okay, so I'll take that spoon I used in the last one and I'll just mix this whole thing together like that. Seems like I need a little bit more. Anyways, I'm going to mix it for a little bit longer, and then I'll see if I can cut it with some more cut up product, and if not, if I can't get enough out of it, then I'll add some more liquid. But you can see that it's like a really high proportion of recycled material. So the deal right now with silicone is in order to properly do anything with it, you have to have pure silicone, not silicone cut with plasticizers or fillers, which we don't do. And even if you do it through like a recycling process, the facilities barely exist, and from what I understand it's energy consumptive. So replacing it with a system like this that actually gives clean work to people. It's a clean repurposing process. As you can see, I'm doing it in my kitchen. I'm not concerned about using my kitchen dishes to mold it. So, you know, and it's all over my skin and there's no odor. It's a clean substance. Yeah, it looks like I'm short. Uh-oh. Okay, I better concentrate here. Gotta remember which finger to stick in there. I'll do a new one, or actually I did this hand for this side, and I did the other hand for the other side, so it's all good. So add one more of those. And one more of those. And a little more aggregate. Oh, got some stuff in the aggregate bowl. Okay. So I'm just going to mix those two together so they actually harden, and then I can just peel it off after. Okay, and then maybe I'll just do that. Now, you know, like in an actual factory setting or a mechanized setting, you could be making roofing tiles out of these. You know, they stand up to high temperature, they stand up to freezing, so they're not going to shrink or crack. They're not plastic, so they're not going to give off nasty things into the environment. You could actually collect the water as drinking water. And the process of making these roofing tiles could be very similar to what I'm doing right here. Just a handmade process. Bake them in the sun like old school dung bricks or whatever. Yeah, like I'm having to hand mold it because I don't have an inner and an outer to this mold. Right now, you could never do this with a liquid injection system or any traditional system of molding silicone. You'd have to hand feed the material into the mold and squeeze the mold. So we're looking at doing that as well too. Okay, so we're getting close to something that's looking like a bowl. And the cool thing about it being this simple that you could actually do it in your own home. So, you know, you've got some platinum silicone stuff and eventually it wears out. And what do you do with it? Do you take it to recycling, or do you do it yourself and make something useful for yourself out of it? Because it's food grade material. It's not changing form, it's got an indefinite lifespan. Okay, how close are we here? It's really hard to tell if you've got the walls all the same. Yeah, I used quite a lot of aggregate, showing off there a bit, but it's working. But it means you got to force it around a little bit more. And I like to usually lay it like that for a second, just so that it'll roll down the sides a little bit. But this one I think I used a little less aggregate, and it rolled down the sides easily. I'm not sure if this one will, we'll see. Yeah, this one's heavier for sure. I used a lot of material. Alright, let's bake it in the oven. Make sure the lid or the edge goes all the way up. Let's see if I can use up that material too. Now you can see that it's pretty lumpy too. A really cool thing about it bonding to itself is you can do layers. So you could put a very shiny finished surface on this in a secondary layer that would stick to itself. Okay. Alright, I'm going to put it in the oven. Ooh, that wall's really thick. I'll put it in the oven. Maybe upside down. Oh. I'm going to wash my hands with a little bit of this 7th generation Power Clean. But I'll do it over here so I don't pollute the whole counter. But I could have actually, yeah, I should have stuck my hands in the oven. That would have dried it right on my hands rather than me making this gloopy mess. Oh well, next time. I'll put the spoon in the oven too, just to harden that stuff on so I can peel it off later. And I should probably put the lids back on these things. Ooh, I dropped the spoon in there. Okay. Alright, so we're just going to give it a couple of minutes in the oven. It's room temperature vulcanizing. I put the oven at 200. It's going to harden up right away. And, oop, on my hand again. I guess I'm wrecking that towel. I'll have to rinse it out. Put that one back on there. That one back on there. Take that off. Oops. I guess I might as well harden these up too, because, you know, I'm done. So I'm just mixing the two together. The 2 bowls worth of material. Oop. And then I'll just put those in the oven too, just to speed it up. Now I can turn off the oven because that's all you really need. Hopefully the bowl's not too hot. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Ooh, yeah, I made it really thick. You know, I'm going to put another layer on that. That's too rough. But you can see, yeah, it's a little bit rough. This one I added some secondary layers. It's quite a bit smoother. And eventually when you have a mold that actually presses it, it'll be totally smooth. But a super simple process that allows you to repurpose everything. Nothing has to go to the waste. All right. Peace.